Hello, welcome to Audiobook 1831. Please subscribe my channel for more videos. Thank you.
Chapter 2, The Power of the First Hour. Welcome back to Audiobooks 831. This is Chapter 2 of our original educational summary, inspired by Robin Sharma's The 5 a.m. Club. In the previous chapter, we explored why an intentional morning can change the direction of your day. Now, we go deeper into the idea of protecting your first hour and using it to build yourself before the demands of the outside world begin. Imagine having 1 hour every morning that belongs entirely to you. No social media, no unnecessary conversations, no endless notifications, no pressure to respond immediately. Just 60 minutes to strengthen your mind, body, and character. For many people, this sounds almost impossible. Their mornings are controlled by alarms, messages, work, school, family responsibilities, and countless distractions. But the problem is not always a lack of time. Often, it is a lack of priorities. We all receive the same 24 hours. What separates people is how intentionally they use those hours. The first hour of the day can become a powerful opportunity because your mind has not yet been overwhelmed by the demands of the world. Instead of beginning with consumption, you can begin with creation. Instead of checking what everyone else is doing, you can decide what you want to accomplish. Instead of reacting, you can prepare. This creates a completely different mental state. Think about your attention as a limited resource. Every message, notification, video, argument, and piece of information takes a small amount of your mental energy. If you give away that energy immediately after waking, you may have less focus available for the things that truly matter. That is why your first hour deserves protection. Protection does not mean becoming disconnected from the world forever. It means deciding when the world gets access to you. Your goals should have a place in your morning before other people's demands take over. One of the biggest enemies of personal growth is automatic behavior. Many people wake up and follow the same routine without thinking. Alarm. Phone, social media, messages, breakfast, work, stress, repeat. Days become weeks, weeks become months, months become years. Then one day a person looks back and wonders why their life has not changed. The answer is often hidden in their repeated habits. If you repeat the same actions every day, you should expect similar results. To create a different life, you eventually have to create different patterns. This is where the morning becomes important. Morning routines are not magical. They do not automatically make someone successful. Their value comes from what they allow you to practice consistently. A morning can become a training session for the person you want to become. If you want stronger discipline, practice discipline in the morning. If you want better concentration, practice focused work. If you want greater knowledge, study. If you want physical strength, exercise. If you want emotional stability, create time for reflection. The morning becomes a laboratory for personal development. One useful way to think about your first hour is to divide it into 3 areas: movement, reflection, and learning. Movement wakes up your body, reflection organizes your mind, learning expands your knowledge. You can adapt these activities according to your own lifestyle, but the principle remains the same. Use your early hours to strengthen the whole person. Start with movement. You do not need an expensive gym or an extreme workout. Walking, stretching, bodyweight exercises, running, or simple mobility work can be enough to get your body active. Physical movement can change your energy and help you feel more awake. Your body and mind are connected. When you take care of one, the other often benefits. After movement comes reflection. This is the part many people ignore. We spend enormous amounts of time thinking about what other people want, what other people are saying, and what other people are doing. But how often do we sit quietly and ask ourselves what we actually want? Reflection gives you that opportunity. You can think about your goals. You can write in a journal. You can express gratitude. You can identify the most important task of the day. You can examine your habits. You can simply sit quietly for a few minutes. The objective is not to empty your mind completely. The objective is to become more aware of what is happening inside it. Awareness creates choice. When you become aware of your thoughts, you do not have to obey every thought. You can notice fear without allowing fear to control your actions. You can notice laziness without surrendering to it. You can notice anxiety and still choose to move forward. This is one of the hidden strengths of reflection. It creates space between an emotion and a decision. The third area is learning. Your future depends partly on the quality of information and skills you develop today. Reading is one way to learn. Listening to educational material is another. Studying a language, practicing a professional skill, reviewing your goals, or learning from experienced people can also help. The important thing is to keep growing. A person who stops learning eventually becomes limited by what they already know, but someone who continues learning expands their possibilities. Imagine dedicating even 30 minutes every morning to learning. 30 minutes may seem small, but repeated for 1 year it becomes hundreds of hours. That is enough time to develop meaningful knowledge in almost any field. This is the principle of accumulation. Small actions become significant when repeated long enough. You do not need to change your entire life in one day. You need to create a system that makes improvement unavoidable over time. This brings us to another important lesson. Consistency is more powerful than intensity. A person who exercises for 3 hours once and then stops for 2 weeks may not achieve much. Another person who exercises moderately every day can make significant progress. The same applies to reading, studying, business, creativity, and personal development. Consistency creates momentum. Momentum makes difficult actions easier, and repeated actions eventually become habits, but habits require patience. When you begin a new routine, your brain may resist it. You may feel uncomfortable. You may want to return to your old patterns. That does not necessarily mean the new routine is wrong. It may simply mean that you are experiencing the normal discomfort of change. Your old habits are familiar. Your new habits are not. The brain naturally prefers what it already knows. This is why the beginning of a new routine can feel difficult. The key is to continue long enough for the behavior to become more natural. Do not judge a new habit based on the first few days. Give it time. Give yourself time. Another challenge is perfectionism. Some people believe that if they cannot complete the perfect morning routine, there is no point in doing anything. That mindset can destroy consistency. Maybe you plan to exercise for 30 minutes, but today you only have 10 minutes. Do 10. Maybe you plan to read 20 pages, but you are exhausted. Read 5. Maybe you plan to meditate for 15 minutes, but you only have 3. Take 3. Doing something small is often better than doing nothing. The goal is to maintain the identity of a person who continues. Your routine should be flexible enough to survive difficult days. Life will not always cooperate with your plans. You may travel, you may become sick, you may have an emergency, you may sleep badly. You may have family responsibilities. A strong routine is not one that never changes. A strong routine is one that can adapt without completely disappearing. This is another reason why the deeper philosophy matters more than the exact clock time. If waking at 5 works for you, use it. If another early hour works better for your responsibilities, build your protected period there. The goal is to own your morning, not to compete with someone else's schedule. Your sleep must also be respected. Waking early while consistently sacrificing adequate sleep is not a productivity strategy. Recovery matters. Your body needs rest. Your brain needs recovery. A disciplined person understands that rest is part of performance, not the enemy of performance. Prepare your evening so that your morning becomes easier. Reduce unnecessary screen time before bed. Prepare the things you need. Decide what matters tomorrow. Create a peaceful environment. When morning arrives, you should not need to negotiate with yourself for 20 minutes. Your plan should already be decided. This is one of the secrets of reducing decision fatigue. Every morning you make dozens of decisions. What should I do? Should I exercise? Should I check my phone? Should I work? Should I read? Should I go back to sleep? The more decisions you leave open, the more opportunities you create for procrastination. A prepared routine removes many of those decisions. You simply follow the system. Over time, this creates reliability, and reliability creates confidence. Confidence does not always come from believing that you are talented. Sometimes confidence comes from knowing that you can trust yourself. You told yourself you would wake up, you woke up. You told yourself you would exercise, you exercised. You told yourself you would learn, you learned. Each completed promise becomes evidence. You begin to believe in your own ability to act. This is much deeper than motivation. It is self-respect. The first hour can therefore become more than a productivity routine. It can become a daily conversation with your future self. Every morning you are answering one question: who am I becoming? Your actions provide the answer. If you spend your mornings building knowledge, you are becoming more knowledgeable. If you spend them strengthening your body, you are becoming healthier. If you spend them developing discipline, you are becoming more disciplined. If you spend them creating something meaningful, you are becoming a creator rather than only a consumer. The transformation is gradual. At first, nobody may notice. Your friends may not notice. Your family may not notice. Even you may not notice. But after months of consistent effort, the difference becomes visible. Your thinking changes, your energy changes, your confidence changes, your skills improve, your standards rise, your relationship with time becomes different, and eventually your results begin to reflect the person you have been practicing becoming. That is why the first hour matters. It is not because 5 o'clock has magical powers. It is because intentional time has power, quiet time has power, focused effort has power, repeated action has power. And when these things are combined consistently, they can change the direction of a life. So tomorrow morning, do not think about changing everything. Choose a small beginning. Wake up, move your body. Give yourself a few moments of silence. Learn something useful. Write down what matters. Then begin your day. Do it again the next day, and the day after that. Your future is not created in one dramatic moment. It is created through hundreds and thousands of ordinary decisions. The morning is simply one of the best places to begin. You have reached the end of Chapter 2 of our original summary of the 5 a.m. Club on Audiobooks 831. Remember, the goal is not simply waking up early. The goal is using protected time to strengthen your body, mind, discipline, and direction. In the next chapter, we will explore a practical structure for turning your early morning into a powerful daily routine. This is an original educational summary inspired by the themes and concepts of the 5 a.m. Club by Robin Sharma. It is not the original audiobook and does not reproduce the copyrighted text of the book. All rights to the original work belong to Robin Sharma and the respective copyright holders.